Hello friends of the internet, welcome back to Coffee Over Apples. My name is Steph. This is my monthly TBR game video in which I use my favorite card game, Magic the Gathering, to choose what books I am going to read for the month of June. Can I just show you this really cool shirt that I got recently and I've been wearing nonstop because I love it? It says, "Life is trash and I'm dumpster diving." It's so cute. I love it. It's from this artist called Wizard of the Barge. It's called a garbage can, not a garbage can't. I love this shirt so much.
It could change the world.
For anybody who's new, I have a bunch of prompts that correlate to a couple color coordinated die that have to do with the colors from Magic the Gathering. What I do is I use the CMC of the card, so the number that's on the top right, to do a game of jousting, aka war, in which these two cards will go to battle. The one that has the higher CMC will win. I play 4 rounds, so let's see what I'm going to read this month. Welcome to my playmat. We have our kitty tray with the dice, color coordinated to match the different mana symbols. And then I have my deck. I think for this one I'm going to use my sliver deck just because this feels like the deck that I'm going to be taking apart sooner rather than later. So let's get some use out of it, shall we? Round 1. Ooh, Gale Rider Sliver versus, Pillar of Origins. It has 2 mana versus 1. Looks like this one is going to win. It's not every day that we get to roll a colorless die. That is number 2. Round 1 gave us a colorless 2. That's exciting because colorless doesn't come up very often, but the prompt is a nonfiction, which this is going to be a little bit of a spoiler for a future book haul that I have planned and recorded that needs to come up sometime in June. This is None of the Above: Reflections on Life Beyond the Binary by Travis Alabanza. I got this in a surprise book box that I ordered from Feminist Press, and I'm super excited for it. It's relatively small, so I'll be able to read it fairly quickly. Basically what this is about is that the author explores the concept of gender and their place in the world that aggressively enforces the gender binary. Alabanza shares 7 phrases that have been directed at them throughout their life, some deceptively innocuous, some deliberately loaded or violent, some celebratory. These phrases act as a lens through which Alabanza explores beliefs and misconceptions about gender, illuminating broader issues within a culture that insists on gender as a fixed identity. Let's see, we have a Windfall versus Arcane Signet. Looks like it is going to be Windfall as the winner, which is blue. We have our handy dandy die. Eight. Round 2 got us a blue 8, which is the prompt award winner. I took a look at my TBR shelves, which sit above me, and I don't have too many award winners on there, I think, or if I do, I have older copies because they don't have the prompt on the front, like the little sticker or whatever that says that this is an award winner. So I kind of just went with the first one that I saw, or rather the only one that I saw that had an actual like emblem on it. And that is Dig by A.S. King. The award is from, this award is from the American Library Association Award for Excellence in Young Adult Literature. I did not even know that this was a YA. I actually thought this was like new adult or adult, but either way, that's totally okay. This has been on my shelf for a couple years, so it's probably high time that I read this. I heard about this originally from Books and Lala years ago. So I picked this up because the way that they described it sounded like something that I would like, and I'm always looking for more weird fiction. So this was categorized in my mind as weird fiction. But when I read the back, I'm like, you know what? I'm here for it anyway. 5 estranged cousins are lost in a maze of their family's entangled secrets. Their grandparents managed to trade potato farming for developing subdivisions, and now they sit atop a $1 million bank account. Wealth they've refused to pass on to their adult children or their 5 teenage grandchildren. Because we want them to thrive, their grandmother always says. But for the Hemmings cousins, thriving feels a lot like slowly dying of a poison they started taking the moment they were born. As the rot of the Hemmings' white respectability destroys the family from within, the cousins find their way back to one another, just in time to uncover the terrible cost of maintaining the family name. So even if I didn't have like Books and Lala's description of my mind of what I thought this book was about, that still sounds really good to me.
Round 3. Two-headed sliver. And it has menace. Ooh, okay, so menace basically means that it's going to battle 2 other cards, a Megantic Sliver and a Path of Ancestry. Okay, so the Megantic Sliver has enough CMC for both of these to win over that. So looks like the winner is going to be green. Kitty tray and a green die. Number 10.
Round 3 gave us a green 10, which is even number of pages. So the sci-fi book club that I run, the Interstellar Book Club, with a bunch of friends of mine, ultimately ended up picking Bluebird by, forgive me if I'm butchering this name, Ciel Pierlot. I think it's a French name. But Bluebird was sold to me as lesbian gunslingers in space. I don't know if that sounds like Cowboy Bebop-esque, but whatever it is, that's kind of all that I need to know. And it has 444 pages according to Storygraph and Goodreads, so fits perfectly. It was also recommended by my friend Eric from Break Even Books, so, and I think like 1 or 2 of our club members said that they read it and really liked it. I'm expecting a good time.
Alright, round 4, here we go. Crystalline Sliver. So it's 2 CMC, white and a blue, versus, Brute Sliver. It's got 5 CMC. I don't see any other applicable abilities, so it looks like Brute Sliver is going to win. So it's going to be another green. Rolling the dice. Go! Number 4.
Round 4 gave us a green 4, which is an indie published book, and this is perfect. Okay, so M.A. Wardell, whose first book in the Teachers in Love series, I did a rant review earlier this month. I actually am in the process of getting ready to post a rave review for the second book in that series. It's like, I went from really disliking the first book to really liking the second book, and the third book is supposed to have side rep from one of the characters from the first book, which makes me excited because I like the side characters much more than the main characters of the first book. So I'm going to read Napkins and Other Distractions by M.A. Wardell. It is an adult romance. It comes out in June. I'm trying to remember if it's like a principal and a teacher or a principal and a parent. I know one of them is a principal, and I don't know if I necessarily remember who the other person is that they fall in love with. But either way, I'm expecting a cute gay romance, and I'm super excited about it because book 2 was so good. Book 4, I'm not sure if I'm gonna pick up because I heard that book 4 goes back to I don't know if it's mainly or like mostly following our characters from book 1 who I extremely disliked. So I think book 3 is where I'm going to kind of end it with this series. And I still have hope that M.A. Wardell is feeding me. Thank you for your contribution to society. And then the last book that I plan, which doesn't correspond to any of the MTG rolls that I've done. This is just like an excess read. In July, I'm going to listen to Katie Roberts and go to a Katie Roberts book signing, but I've never read Katie Roberts before. I'm mostly going because one of my closest friends is a fan, and so like I'm going to get a book signing to give to her. Also, I'm going with a couple other friends of mine who are also book nerds and like into her, but I figured I should probably read a Katie Roberts book before I go to a Katie Roberts book signing. So I'm gonna read the first book in the series that I'm going to the book signing for, which is the Neon Gods. I don't really know anything about this series. I just know that I'm pretty sure it's a romance. And like, I've been wanting more romance, right? I've been wanting more of like the 4 main genres that I've kind of been reading this year. So I'm not going to complain about it. But it would be nice to have some context because the book signing that I'm going to is technically for book 7 in this series. So here's a rundown of what we're doing. This for nonfiction, this for award winner. I'm going to purchase a copy of Bluebird, and I'm gonna purchase a copy of Napkins and Other Distractions when that is released. I think it's like the beginning of June. And then I also have to go to my library and see if they have a copy of Neon Gods. So 2 books are coming off of my TBR shelf, which makes me a little bit happy because my goal is to try to cut my TBR shelf in half by the end of the year. That's it for this month's TBR game. I post videos whenever I feel like it. Thanks for watching. Bye!
On we go.
What's it making, Mr. Wonka? Mr. Wonka worked the factory.